Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Ba-da, 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 ba. Wow, wow, wow. Ba-da-da, ba-da, boom, doom, ba-doom, doom, ba-down, ba-da-ba, ba-da-boom, ba-bow, 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 ba-da-da. I'm just making up music, guys. How you all doing? I hope everybody's okay, mon frere. I hope everybody's having a wonderful time. Good time in the summer. Uh, uh. Let me see the chat. We got oh snap. I got some people in my chats. Is that real? You guys already here? You can't back it up yourself. You're sending me to your priest. What is going on here? What have I done? Is this a real chat? What is going on? Did you ask him? Am I in the wrong chat? I got a bunch of people talking over here. Let's see. So you know him. I'm lesbian. I mean, can't benefit you. No idea. I got cop. I gotta go cop. Fascinating program. Shame about the insane inane chat here. What happened? Did I miss something? I thought I was just let me make sure. Let me make sure I know what's going on here. What's going on? Let's see here. Can you guys hear me all right? I wonder if it looks like I'm not here. All right, all right. Okay, well, whatever. What? What? All right, I don't know what's happening here in my chat, so I'm gonna let you guys discuss things, I guess, if you'd like. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna like and share my own thing over here, over her. I have no idea what's going on. I think I walked into something here. All right. So I'm going to just pump that out there on tweet. Tweedledee, tweedledee, tweety. I feel like I've walked into a weird event. Let me refresh my stream. Oh my goodness. All right. Whoa, what happened? You guys, I had this crazy stream. I had a comments from a different chat. It was the most weirdest thing. Let's see here. Cameron Thomas says, oh. Michael Folker says, oh. Serena says, okay. And Serena says, talk more, guys. Yo, yes, but not sure about the fake chat. What? Hey, we was listening to Lil Troy Bala, Travis 99, yo. What? What are you talking about, Arthur? We hear you fine. The chat can hear you. We can discuss things. Tom Cruise sucks. That's not right. Anyway, guys, I apologize for that. I was just freaking out just a second ago because it looked like there was a whole other chat going on in my stream, and it had a bunch of weird people I've never seen before. So I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. And then none of them were responding to me. Obviously, you guys were responding to me, and this, I don't know if it was a glitch or not. I don't know. It's late. It's late. All right. So what I'm doing here, y'all, is I'm going to finally draw that thing I meant to draw last time, which was, you know what? I should probably open that document. I've been wanting to do like quick drawing. This aggression will not stand, says Cameron Thomas. I know. It's a little scary. What the Elliot? Go to sleep. No, man, I'm staying up. I put the link in the chat, Critias, if you wanted to come on, if you want. That was a transdimensional chat. You experienced a glitch in the matrix. Whoa. So awesome. Serena says, Critias, shh. You know what, Serena? I'm gonna make a separate. I'm gonna make my own green room and just put links in there in case you guys want to be part of that. But in the meantime, on this side of heaven. In the meantime. Critish Art says, or it's early. It's true. It's true. Let me see. A new message. I'm gonna go to Serena, and I'm gonna put you on too, Arthur, because I'm back now, so I could bring people on. Although you're not coming up at all. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think we maybe we're not connected that way. Okay, I don't have to keep it like this. I don't know what's going on. All right. I'm a boomer. Half asleep, Elliot. You'll get a lot of silence from me. That's all right. I don't care. You're welcome to chill. Don't be acting ill. No tricks in 86. It's time to build. All right. So, like I said, I'm just going to be doing a quick, I think they did Creep last, a quick sketch time just for about an hour or so. What are we drawing? Cameron Thomas asks. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. I think I'm going to bring out some of my Valkyries tomorrow for auction, Cameron, if you're interested. Mike said that we probably would be having an auction. So if someone were interested in something like that, that'd be the time. I know you were interested last time, but I was too late for you, my friend. Okay, so this was the sketch I did for that guy last time. So I'm going to adjust it here. My wisdom for the night: to kill two birds with one stone, you need to find a stone that splits into two. What? All right, Critias, you stay asleep, man. You stay asleep. It's okay. I don't want to harm you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and delete a couple of things here. Let's go ahead and delete all this. I'm not sure what this is going to be called, this file, but I need to name it soon. Oh, pencil hands. I'm going to save it in my folder. Let's see, make a new folder here. This is LabComics. Is that right? Nope, I misspelled that already. I'm only on because I still have some coffee swimming in me. I had some coffee late at night, and I'm still rocking and rolling. There he is. Oh, maybe that's why, because he has bear in there. All right, I'll send it to you in a second. I hope I sent it. Just copied and pasted it out of something else. I'm gonna call this pencil. There's really pencil hands. Bam. And we're gonna call this pencil. Bam. Bam. All right. Boom. All right. I sent it to you. Hopefully it works. Make sure you don't have to do the US thing that John Malin struggles with. What is the artwork for? Says Serena. Serena says, I can't talk now. I was just about to crash too. Thank you, though. All right, on Serena. What is the artwork for? It's actually for an anthology series that I'm working on with my business partner, where we are trying to come up with. It's a group of artists along with me, where we are all contributing to the same project. So, that kind of thing. All right, so what I'm trying to do here is the sketch is supposed to be. I started to do something that the original drawing I did for this was pencil hands. This is the original one. Oops, did I do something wrong? I don't know if I did anything wrong. So this was the original idea. Pencil hands, it was just a claw thing, but it did kind of feel a little generic. And I was like, it needs a little more love. It needs a little more love. And Andy was like, I think it could be better if it had this going. And this is just to pay some bills. Critias, I see you in there.
How you doing?
Oh man, let me raise the volume a little bit. Who else is here?
No, it's just me talking slow. I'm whispering.
Oh, somebody just came in and left.
I
Who was
think
that?
Arthur Brown. When I jumped in, I saw his name.
What happened? Why did Arthur leave?
I threw him out.
Why'd you throw him out, man?
No, I'm just playing.
Anyway, so pencil hands is supposed to be.
You hear me?
Yeah.
The boomer is infectious. I boomered it up.
Oh, so much boomerang. I don't understand.
Yeah, I changed my office up, so I reestablished all the connections, and it was. I'm here.
Right on. Welcome, brother.
Hey.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you also, Chris.
Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome to the Critias Monger Show.
The Critias Mongus. Man, Critias, I've been in here with you before, right?
Yeah, on Mike's channel.
Okay, I'm still fanboying. Okay, I'm done.
What? What?
I do that. I do that.
You get pumped up with a group?
I do. I just it's what I do. Sorry.
So it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, or it's 4:03 in the morning, Fitzfactor. Thanks for coming on. Cameron says it's 3 a.m. That's because you're somewhere else in a different part of the country. Serena says, cool, Elliot. Thank you. Cameron says, man, I'm loving that face, though. Well, thank you. So anyway, pencil hands in this iteration just isn't enough in this image, although I love the idea that his hands, his claws are sharpened like old school pencils, with a knife. That's cool. So, whoa, Fitzpatrick says, wow, 4 p.m. here in Singapore. 10 hours? Oh, I'm sorry, 12 hours?
How is it 4 p.m. there in Singapore when it's 4 p.m. here in Florida?
It's 4 a.m. here.
Oh, a.m. Well,
that's how late it is.
Right. Yeah.
We all need sleep. Don't worry, this is gonna be easy on you guys. I'm just doing this for a split second here. Actually, I wonder if I can save her face. No, it's too no. Man, maybe not.
Wreck the pretty face, man. Don't wreck it.
Chris, I can barely hear you, so.
I think he's trolling.
Is he trolling?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh well.
Critty's got a sexy voice, so.
Yeah. So I'm gonna still draw the same gal, but in the background, what I want to do here is this is the idea I have. This is the idea. I want to draw pencil hands. Now, you guys remember that guy from Sin City? Elijah Wood played him in the movie. He had the glasses.
The first movie?
Yeah. I don't think he was in the second movie, was he?
No.
So I'm gonna do I have an idea here for this guy to be like, he's in the back. He's kind of got the shoulders hunched, And he's doing a Freddy thing. 1, 2, Freddy's coming. But it's pencil hands.
Was it Kevin? That's his name?
Kevin, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Kevin. Is that what his name was?
Yeah.
So what this guy did is he taped sharpened pencils to his fingers like claws. And he's nasty.
I did that once. It didn't work out.
No?
Freddy is Fred.
I think Arthur's hopped up on something. He's like,
oh man, I drank a couple bottles of wine. I'm in there.
All right. Just don't get me in trouble.
Oh, no. No singing songs that shouldn't be on YouTube.
No. Slick Rick says, Elliot is still going, pulling an all-nighter, man. I'm hopped up on caffeine, man. I drank coffee, then I had a Coke Zero, and I'm just like, oh man, I can't sleep yet. So I was just on early tonight with John Malin and Serena. Serena, I'm sorry, Serena. I just saw your name pop up. Anna, the Star Wars girl, was there. So I was like, all right, cool.
Oh, that was awesome. I missed that.
Yeah, it was just a late night thing, and they had invited me because Paranormals was off this week because of San Diego.
Yeah.
So then I saw Eric Weathers was doing his last final hours for his campaign. Did you hear about that, Critias?
Yeah, matter of fact, I was on his stream, but I was watching.
He wrapped up his campaign. I was really happy for him.
I turned it up like 5 minutes before he ended the stream. I was like, oh, it's already too late.
Oh, there you go. That's what you get.
Not my fault, man.
2019 is a bad year for me in campaigns. I really hurting. It's like all these guys I wanted to follow, all these guys I wanted to support, and I don't know. Yeah.
You can't do everything, man. You know,
No, it is. It is really that. I can't. It's like I've done a lot of the important people that I've been here since the beginning with,
Right.
but 19 is a bad year. It's really. I mean, like we just scraped money together to get some toilet paper. That kind of year. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, dude. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
I
Yeah.
hear you, man, for real.
That's why I'm doing these things because of that very same reason. You know, it's
Exactly.
Well, Ellie, I can be your toilet paper. You should just tell me.
That's you know, you're right there. You're right there. You know, it's like 4 hours away.
yeah.
Pretty.
By the time you get there, you crap yourself. It's too late. All right, so this is my idea, fellas. What do you think so far? So he's close
And he's
right
got
now.
Yeah.
pencils.
That's good. He's in like
he's gonna have sharpened pencils taped to his fingers.
he's in like one of those 60 guys, like 1960s.
I don't know. I want to make him like a typical
30s.
school nerd guy.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna have a pocket protector.
Yeah.
But you won't see a lot of these things though because they all the pencils are sharpened in his pocket. Oh,
So yeah, definitely like a 60s type character, you know, one of those light colored shirts that they usually wear.
yeah, sure.
You're gonna put tape between his glasses.
Well, if I give him horn rim glasses, it will.
Hmm.
People have been commenting that a lot of these have been looking like they've been looking like we're talking number 2 or like HB pencil kind of guy.
I should mute myself right now. I'm laughing too hard.
Dylan says, "Why you do this to me? It's so late." I'm sorry, man. I'm only gonna be on for another 50
2 more
minutes.
Is he gonna kill you with the number 2, or is he gonna go to B?
Well, he says HB, and HB is number 2.
Oh, okay. Is it the same thing?
Mechanical pencils, so he doesn't have to keep sharpening them. Yeah.
What is a mechanical pencil? I don't know.
Well, if it's HB, usually they come with HB. If it's HB, it's just number 2. I think you have to actually buy other levels. They don't make them very much actually.
Wait, what are you drawing right now? Like what? Just
see the wine's gotten to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I just told everybody. Okay, so what this is I'm working with Andy. We're doing an anthology. He's paying the bills right now. This is an anthology to produce. There's a group of us that run to the different cons together. There's Jose Varice, myself, Mark Pennington, and Daniel Dulitsky. We're buddies, and we all kind of are we all work under Andy. So what this is, it's an anthology series we're putting together. We're probably going to release it digitally on Webtoons, and then we're going to do something of it later. Where we'll collect everything after all the art's complete with extra stuff and all kinds of goodies for like a campaign. So it'll be mostly like an art book because each illustration is its own story. And then there's a short story idea that goes along with each page.
We're talking Big Bridge Andy, right?
Yes. Yep.
A good dude. He kept in contact with me. I was like, oh, I already know. Yeah, but like, are y'all looking for any like submissions or anything, or y'all got it covered?
It's just the 4 of us that we're working together.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. That might happen in the future. It depends on how it goes. But for now, it was just trying to get these things. There's a specific budget, and we're kind of moving along with it. So it's cool. So all these ones I've done. Have you seen the other ones, Arthur?
Mm-mm.
All right, let me show you. Can you handle it? Because I know you're.
Yeah, I'm on the edge. I'm on the
I know
edge.
you're great.
My wife just threw something at me a few minutes ago before I got on stream. It's like, stop drinking.
You're grape infused.
Grape infused. Exactly.
This is the alien one.
Well, I just got the okay. Oh wow. See, that's some Sigourney Weaver stuff.
Yeah.
With the underwear. Yep.
Yeah. That's cool.
So fine.
The second one was this one. the
yeah.
mummy. And these are cool because they're not attached to any properties. So this is just all our original ideas or derivative of like a concept. But like a mummy's a mummy's a mummy. Nobody owns mummies, so that's cool. Then I did Cthulhu.
But at the same time, it's like looking at some. I'm trying to think of his name, and you know him. I know you know him because here lately I've been looking at a lot of. Help me out. How? You got to read my mind right now.
I'm having a hard time.
Old Eerie magazine.
Sure, EC Comics.
EC Comics. The guy though. Just
Frank Frazetta?
go. No. Go ahead and keep telling him, and I'll have his name in 2 seconds. Just go ahead and I'll have his name. You go on to something else. I didn't realize I would not have come on if I realized I was this gone. I was just it's the end of the night, you know. It's the end of the second bottle. Oh God, what is his name? You know, Bernie.
Bernie Wrightson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's some of that in here. All right. So this is my setup so far. This is what I have. I've got.
But it's not Bernie Wrightson. It just makes me like your art has always made me feel like I did when I was a kid, looking up at that wall that my dad had up on the wall. He had Bernie. He had Conan, which was different, which was Frazetta and Boris and whatever. But he also had Bernie. And I was like, oh my God, you know? So when I look at you guys' art and the way you're doing your blacks and the way you're doing your art, it's not Bernie, but it's there. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I'm going to blow your mind, dude. You need to look up a guy named Fraser, and it's spelled like that. Frazer Irving. Check him out. I think you'll fall in love. So this is my lineup, guys. This is the... Where's my cursor at? There we go. The alien was the first one. And I like her. I think she came out really nice.
The young dude.
Fraser Irving?
Yeah.
Is he young?
He looks young in this picture of him.
Are you seeing his artwork though?
But I'm seeing his artwork as well, yeah.
Yeah, 2000 AD stuff. He's really good. All right, this is the mummy. And I'm also taking this as an opportunity to improve on my women's figure work. By the way, goodbye, Serena. Have a great night.
Serena, good night.
Cameron Thomas says, dang, that Cthulhu was awesome, Elliot. Appreciate that, brother. Slick Rick says, Cameron Thomas, who's the guy talking with Elliot? Well, we've got Critias and we've got Arthur Brown. The uncanny Kodiak. The uncanny Kodiak. Arthur Bear Brown on
Better Recognize. No, I'm just kidding.
He's my boy, all the way back from Instagram days.
Yes, sir.
Kentron says, "Come on, do you ever sleep?" I'm trying to not sleep.
Sleep is for mortals.
Sleep is for people who don't want to get paid.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. True. No, we all need to sleep. I got some keeping this short, guys. It's not going to be that long. I'm just going to be on while I work on the sketch.
I was trying to find your video. Like you went off. Not you. You didn't go off on a tangent, but somebody asked you a tangent about how you draw hands, and then you went into this detail about the McDonald's with French fries and stuff that, which made sense to me. I was like, yeah. So my kid came to me, my 11-year-old, who's freaking amazing. He's like Doug TenNapel, only 11. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, it's like, so I'm trying to give him the right information. So I'm trying to tell him that, and I'm trying to find that video where you're telling somebody, but I don't know which video it was you were telling them. It was like, so I just found one of your videos where you drew a hand. You didn't even explain it. And he's like looking at it. The next thing I know, he comes up to me and he draws a hand better than I can.
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa. Kid's 11. The kid is 11.
Wow. They absorb information better than we do.
It's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
True.
Wow. Look at that.
This one I'm happy with. I just wish I had more black in the background. Something else. I might change
shoving her whole arm up his mouth.
It's a knife. It's a sword thing.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Blam. Oh, nice. Gotcha. And I like this creature though. I designed it pretty cool. I like.
I like that woman.
And then I got Swamp. So Swamp is actually a Lovecraftian concept here.
That's a beautiful character.
And let me see, get a closer look on his face.
Prettiest, doesn't it make you feel your childhood every time you looked at a picture? You're sitting there getting to talk to the dude that did the drawing that make you feel like a childhood.
To be honest, not really.
Well, okay.
I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, I'm like, I don't know. I never really got that, like that feeling, like that nostalgic feeling or anything like that.
Did you grow? I grew up in a comic household. My dad had his own book room, so it's like he died when I was 17, so it was all of a sudden gone, right? So when I this stuff, it's like nostalgic. So I understand what you're saying. It's like you don't get that nostalgic.
You know what it's like? I guess it's because, for example, my pops, he's like these type of people that they shoot you down like, oh, I want to go see this guy. I want to go see that. They're just human beings, just like you and me. What you need to go see,
Right.
you know? So it just became a part of me. So like whenever I see somebody famous, it's like I don't get excited. Like, oh, it's just another person.
You guys started with me.
You did. I'm
saying
you
are peoples. Yeah, you are peoples.
He was like, "Oh snap, it's Elliot. Oh, jerkmonger. Oh."
I ain't gonna lie, man. When Sketch was like, "Yo, this is guy. You gotta meet him. His name is Elliot. He's awesome. We got a stream together and all that." I was like, I don't know. I'm not really interested in meeting anybody. Then I met Elliot. I was like, oh, this is my guy.
Right. Well, that's where you became a man. You decided your own what you're gonna give up to other people.
After I met Elliot, I went through puberty. I was like, oh.
There you go.
Kentron, yes, I'm just here to give you a thumbs up. Sleep well. All right, Kentron, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you.
Have a good night.
I had I don't do many live streams, but when I did, I had somebody, and even if I could remember the name, I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't put him out there like that. He's like, Elliot snapped at me one time. I'm like, bro, the very first time I talked to Elliot, he snapped at me. What are you talking about?
I snap at everybody.
Yeah, he snaps at everybody. That's the thing. He tells it like it is.
I'm the jerkmonger. That's what nobody likes.
Yeah. No, everybody likes. That's what everybody comes to like.
Well, he snaps at you guys, but he bullies me. That ain't cool.
I do bully. I'm a bullying fellow. No, I don't mean that. I don't mean to be mean to people. When I'm trying. Well, I mean, I that's too bad. I don't. It does come across like that sometimes, but part of it too is like I'm like, man, I wish people. Oh man, I got the beach ball of death. I wish people would put a little energy into asking the questions that they will really help them. You know, like what pen is that? Like if I get that pen, I will be magical like him. No, you just gonna have the pen. It's really about questions like how do you get to here? What do you get to there? Or what important things that I think are going to really help you along the way in your career. I have some of that information, not all of it, just some of it. And people sometimes they I don't know.
You always know the new guys when they're asking that thing. I thought of that while I was watching. I went back to Instagram like a week ago to, sometime this month. And you were answering that same question that I had asked 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you go, it's a newbie. It's a newbie. He's asking that same. He's asking the wrong question. Well, not the wrong question, but I can't even say how it is the wrong question. But it's
in a way.
Wrong, yeah,
in a way. Look, everybody has. I mean, sometimes those questions are legitimate. Like, hey, what kind of pencil is that? I'm really interested, and that's fine. I'm just saying, like if I had a chance to talk to Jack Kirby today, if Jack Kirby would magically come back from the dead, and he said, "Hey, buddy, I want to work with you. I want to talk to you," and I get that time, I would be like, okay, the last thing I'm going to ask is, "Hey, is that a number 2 pencil or HB?"
Exactly. Yeah.
I was just thinking with everybody in the chat right now because I answered that before. But yeah, that's the last question I'd ask because I want to ask things like, what were you thinking? How did you arrive here? Or
how did you start at the left point of your drawing and end up drawing the whole page?
Sure, yeah. Or why did it take you so long to get here? to be in your 40s to start the Fantastic Four. These are those type of,
Mhm.
I was asked earlier a really good question. I don't know where I was at. I don't remember. I think it was on Instagram. Somebody asked me, I can't remember it now. I just found it as a unique question because it really was a thoughtful, like, how did you do this when you did that? That kind of thing. And I'm like, wow, that's a good question. It seemed simple at first, but it was thoughtful in the sense that they were able to pull together the, like, all right, you do this, why does it work? And I thought that was a better use of the time that we have together. When we have, like I said, I'm only going to be on here for probably around quarter till or so. So we want to make best use of our time. If we just goofing around, that's a separate thing altogether,
Right.
But I see so many people in my chats who seem to be hungry for information, but some of them just want to be heard. Senpai, what's that go? Notice me.
Senpai, notice me.
Senpai, notice me. And I get that too, man. When I started out, that was a big motivating factor for me. If I could just get his attention, But the other part of it is, the other thing is, there's no way I can answer in a live stream. How can you improve? However old you are, how long it took me to get here. How can I do that in 10 minutes? I don't know how to do that. So
that was a good opportunity for me because, like, I'm new at streaming, and I had somebody from your stream. It's like, I recognize you from Jerkmonger stream, and I didn't get this from Jerkmonger, and I'm like, well, you're maybe looking too much into it, And it's like, Jerkmonger's trying to, to simplify it, because I don't want to get, to stumble myself. To simplify it, he's trying to draw, he's trying to create something, and you're just this fan, which I then realized, talking to this fan, that I was a fan I'm a fan as well. We maybe get too much into, so much into it, we might get in the way of the creation that you or whoever, or in this case, when I'm now inspired by you guys and I'm working hard to create something, they may get in my way, or somebody who's a fan of mine might get in my way of creating the next step. Did I mess that up?
Are you talking about, like, we do the actual chat, the actual live chat part of it, or
the don't get to it's a day and age where right now, like, my first question, the one you snapped at me at but no, see, the thing is I never took it as that. I never did until he said that, and I could utilize it. My question was a legitimate question. You'd probably admit it. I now have an iPad 12. That's how I do my digital. Before that, I've never had anything. So I was asking you about latency.
Okay.
And you basically was like, it is what it is. That was your answer, was it is what it is. It was not actually a snap. It was, here's the truth, like it or not. And that's what I told the dude. I was like, with Jerkmonger, remember, you get the truth. Don't, and there's a lot of people asking him things that he's been asked a million times. I still have it somewhere up of my, I think. I may have kept it. I may have deleted the stream because it was interesting. It was somebody that I recognized back in the day before internet gel,
Yeah.
before YouTube gel. And he just popped in, and I wanted to say, hey guy, I've been here before. Sometimes with the internet, we think too much. We overthink it. And you're overthinking this. Trust me. By then I had been with you on Doug TenNapel's show. I've watched you on all the pro shows. I was like, by now you're overthinking it. He's just saying the truth. He's just telling you what he'll answer. I've seen you answer the same question several times, including with me. My question was about latency. with whatever you was using back then when we were on Instagram, I noticed you would pull the pen and then the line would move. And I couldn't stand that. I still can't stand digital. I still can't. It kind of annoys me, even with iPad 12, which is what I got
Yeah.
eventually, you know? And it was like, oh, you know? And I asked you, I was like, what about the latency? And you're like, the latency is the latency. You know, it's all with what you get used to. I think that was verbatim what you answered me.
That sounds like me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like and so, you know, I don't want to stick on this too much. It was just basically a, you know, now a year and a half later, I'm used to you guys giving that kind of answer because y'all get it so much. Now I see you guys get it 1,000 times a day.
Well, because in the end, the latency, for example, I'm just using it as an example, and this is the truth about a lot of the questions. And this is what I mean when I say I wish that people would ask a question that was more like, man, this is the opportunity I have. Let's do this. You know, I think the issue, for example, of latency is really a non-issue, because unless you could fix it, there's no way to fix it. This is the
Right.
the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the benefit, but the drawback to the tool. You know, it is what it is. You know, it's what now. What are you going to do about it? Like when I was starting out working with Wacom Cintiq, rather Wacom pads, like a regular Intuos Pro or whatever, you know, I didn't have the benefit of a Cintiq, and I always wanted a Cintiq. So then I eventually bought a Cintiq. It's this one that I'm using now, the 13 HD, and it's not the greatest thing in the world. That's definitely new technology, but that's like saying, oh man, I wish it wasn't that expensive. Like, okay, well, it is expensive. I mean, you know, now, unless you are willing to entertain things like a Huion or some other tool that, you know, at a better price, you know, but you're not going to get the same thing. But by the time we're done talking about that, it's like some people are really like feisty about it. Like, oh, I just don't like it. Like, all right, that's cool. Don't know what to tell you. You know, if you hate it that much, then this is the cost benefit ratio that you have to deal with that particular tool. So that's the same thing with pencils. Like when people say, what pencil? Like, I didn't know until, I swear, man, and I know people might think I'm being ridiculous here, but I genuinely, I look at these videos and I'll look at what people are using, and I just study what they're using myself. I hardly ever get the answer I want from people. So I just start to look at it. Like, I've actually met J. Scott Campbell, and we have mutual friends.
Oh, that's cool.
But he doesn't know me from Adam, you know. That doesn't mean anything. Like, it's like, oh, okay. So when I've asked him something online, he may answer something, especially if it's something he is willing to, you know, if it's helping promote the concept he's putting out there with his image, or he may not. So one time I was trying to figure out what pen he would use, and I couldn't figure it out. So I just studied, and eventually I was like, oh, okay, I see what it is. And I went to the art supply store and I found it. And I still don't know how to use it that well.
But let me give you something, because you just struck a chord. I mean, you struck a strong chord. This you see in my this is a cool blue erase. What? Because you told cool blue erase Prisma blue, right? You told me about. Yeah. This is out of 20. This is my last. Now a minute ago, like last week, I didn't find this one, and I had one that was like this big. Like the last was like a half an inch. And I also found through asking questions through you, and I didn't realize this, but I found one of these. This is another product I learned through you. The simple thing, and I went to I asked them. They didn't know what it was because it's some teenager. I just kind of was a little, not belligerent, but just kind of pushy, and they finally found it. This eraser pen that you were using at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and not this one, but the other one I had was so small that I learned to put it in put it in, and I was using it like this. If you can see, yeah, here we go. But my point was the cool blue erase, and that's why I had this up. The cool blue erase, I learned from you. You just straight up later, I was asking the right questions. So you got past you weren't really annoyed with the question of the latency. It just didn't make sense. I didn't know the question to ask. Later, when I was asked, I was getting it. I asked the question. I'm like, what is that blue pencil you're using? And you're like, cool blue erase. I bought me some. It changed my life. It changed the way I did art. I did some of the pictures that's on my board right with the cool blue erase. So it's important to know those people out there. Just because some of the artists get annoyed with some of the questions, don't stop asking. You know, I don't want them to think, oh, you got annoyed with me. You didn't. You never really did. I'm joking about that.
Yeah.
I'm joking about that. I found the cool blue erase, which is now, any professional is like, oh, you didn't know about that? No, I didn't. I really didn't. And when I found it, it changed my art. It really did. And that's a lot about these amateurs coming in. We don't know this. We're not going through a school where, like you said, how long did you go through? Was it Jason Scott Campbell? How long did you watch that artist or those artists before you found it? And now you can sit there and answer that question and say, yeah, go get you a cool blue erase. That'll change.
Yeah, I hear you. I did the same thing the other day. I was watching a video that someone posted of Joe Kubert inking with a particular nib. Obviously, Joe Kubert's not around anymore. And I was like, okay, what nib is he using there? And sure enough, I paused it, watched it, looked at it. I mean, it's just part of what I call studying. When people study something. Cameron, the actual pencil is not cool blue. It's a coal erase, a Prismacolor coal erase. I use indigo blue when I draw, but yeah.
I think I'm using the dark blue, right?
Yeah, if you're using indigo, that's probably what it is. There is a light blue one that they make, but it's called non-photo blue, which is your traditional comic. It's which I'm kind of simulating here with the cyan in my drawing. But
yes, which is cool, by the way. We got away from it, but I'm sorry.
Well, no, the reason why I do this, by the way, is because I have a hard time seeing all these pencil marks all at the same time. Like I see them, but there's too many that they're distracting me. My field of vision is covered with all this noise. So what I try to do is I need the blue underneath a layer so I can, or the art underneath another layer so I can kind of see it independently. That way I'm not trying to, what am I trying to say? Like right now I'm sketching the guy on top of it. He's black, so I can separate my thoughts on him beyond the girl, because I already drawn the girl. I'm happy with her.
It tricks your mind to know he's in the background.
Sort of. No, it's more like I can't see him. I can't see what I'm drawing because I have her in front. She's already black also, so all this noise everywhere. Yeah. So it just gives me a little bit of a room to kind of just let the art breathe in front of itself, so I can just still focus on what I'm trying to draw, not just on her.
You just did something very important, by the way. I'm sitting there looking at how great that hand was, and you're like, I'm not married to that, so I'll erase it and I'll do something else.
Yeah. That's something I definitely try to, that's an important thing actually to happen with your work when you're doing stuff, is if you're going to practice with a tool, if you want to learn something new, like I have the benefit of working digitally right now, so it's no big deal.
Right.
But even when I'm working with pencils, I should show you my sketchbook. I just did a bunch of stuff the other day, or actually the last couple of days. Let me see real quick. Cameron says, I'm hearing cool blue erase. Super Elite 1776, how you doing? Says, current dash sketcher non-photo blue pencil is the best. It is the best, Super Elite. I do love that pencil for non-photo blue. However, it's so, and he says, so buttery smooth and erasable. It is, but it's so buttery smooth that it's so easy to be done with, and those are expensive pencils. So I find that working this way still works for me. Also, you can extract most colors with Photoshop easily when you're scanning the art anyway. So John Chidester says Prismacolor erase. That's correct. And yep, Cameron Thomas points it out. It's $14 on Amazon for like a box of them, I guess. All right, then Slicker says, Elliot, always there with the cool tools, though, still experimenting. Most of the guys I see here have perfected a particular workflow and are stuck on it. Well, I think that's important too. I'm always trying to figure out a better way. That's the difference. And I think that's where I talk about, like what we're just discussing here. I could just draw this and I can call it a day, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say I have this tool, but what if I didn't have this particular tool? So I'm always thinking ahead about, and not only that, I'm also looking for effects. I want my work to look a certain way. So for me, it has to feel a little, I have to feel like I'm still growing. So I don't just stay stuck in one style or one look. Maybe that's what you said anyway. I'm probably restating.
Do you feel like you're at a spot where you purposely like stick it to yourself, where you're like, I can do better than that?
Yeah, I mean, I did that when I was painting recently. I just kept jamming on the paint, and I kept moving. And if I mess up this one spot, I'm not married to anything, because my goal is the whole image, not just the one part. I want the whole image. So sometimes the part that I'm in love with, I have to sacrifice in order to get the rest of it better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
So everything's a learning process. We're all trying to figure out things along the way. Fisk Factor says, Jerkmonger, a lot of comic people I follow use Clip Studio. Any particular reason you prefer Photoshop? Well, almost for the same reason why I was just, praised. On one hand, I use Photoshop because I know it best. I also don't feel like the brushes and the tools I get out of Clip don't feel as natural to me as some of the brushes I've already invested money in Photoshop.
You actually spent money on brushes?
Yeah, because I couldn't get these were say what?
Is that important? Because I feel like when it comes to digital, I feel like spending money on like say a brush. I'm a 90s kid. I'm an 80s kid. I'm spending money on a brush. I'm like, really? You know what I mean? It's a trouble. It's not like spending money on a cool blue erase.
Well, the reason why is because I could only get these brushes through Gumroad at the time, and they were so reasonable, and it supported the artists. So this idea of crowdfunding is becoming a big deal to me all around. I mean, it's changing the way I look at comics and what I support, what I don't support. And especially a guy who's providing an asset like these brushes. Now, these are some of the best brushes I've ever used. They are genuinely good brushes, good Photoshop brushes. And so I didn't spend that much money. He was very reasonable with it. And I probably should have given him more. Sometimes you can donate a little more. But these brushes I got, and he's not selling them anymore. So, but I think supposedly they come with the Photoshop suite, but I don't see them. Let's see. You can create your own brushes. I can, but
that's what I was asking. But at the same time, you're like, I don't know.
No, these brushes here. I have some he made some watercolor brushes that actually paint like watercolor. That I don't know how to make. I could probably research it, but he already did it, and it cost me minimum. I made me pay $5 for the brushes. I don't know.
And you're already drawing by the time it took you to learn the. Yeah,
I mean, if you're in a bind, man, you can't afford them. I get it. Do what you got to do. But it didn't. The cost, and then trust me, because I'm always broke, so the cost was very minimal.
Yeah.
At the time, Anyway, this guy looks like my hair when I was a kid.
I've always wondered what that number on Doom Kicker looks to you. You're just like, it's just a number. I'm still broke. I'm sitting there like, I'm like, I have this sense of obligation as a fan to like, can I get one person in this week to notice this? Because I know this guy still has a mortgage. I know this guy still, like we just talked about, toilet paper.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Any poor person knows toilet paper. We forget that last. That's the last thing you go, oh crap. You're right.
I can explain some of that too. I don't have a hard time. Critias has his own stories too.
Yep.
It turns out the money that you see doesn't come to me. I don't have that money. It's held right until the
Right.
end of the campaign.
Mm.
But beyond that, there's also the inherent costs to producing a book, like printing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Platform fees.
the platform fee. That money you see there. There's a chunk of it I don't get that goes directly to Indiegogo.
Yes.
There's PayPal takes their cut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure at some point do that.
Oh yeah.
And then
Probably owned by the same company too, which is laughable. But yes.
Yeah, probably. Also, there's shipping costs, packaging costs. The gas. I mean, I know
And
it's not
then
much. If you got
exactly.
and then the printing for the books, and you have to get it shipped. It's another fee itself.
yeah,
Yes.
the shipping it to yourself and then
Mhm.
shipping it out.
Uh-huh.
I know through
I didn't
Print
even
Ninja.
think about it. I did never. This is the first time watching all these guys, Mike, all these guys, that I thought about having it shipped to yourself before you ship it out. I've never thought of that before.
Well, yeah, I mean that's how you get the books in the first place. And trust me, I didn't think they were gonna. I didn't even think of that as a cost until they told me. So
You're like,
Print Ninja for 1,000 books. For 1,000 books, at 96 pages, with all the details, I wanted it square bound and all that kind of stuff. I think it's something like I want to say it's like almost 6,000 or almost it's almost 6,000 or almost 5,000 plus another 1.7 thousand just to get it shipped from China.
Mm.
this is why a lot of them lower tier fan base is important, because they're telling them, like the Skunk Girl and those guys are sitting there saying like there's these pros aren't making as much money off of this as you think they are.
Right. I'm totally with you. So that's why you got to be careful. Like you got to really think that there's an old passage in the Bible talks about counting costs, and it's a builder's principle. You got to count your costs first, and that could be difficult. But we figured things out. Andy and I worked it out. We hammered out some details. Shipping itself, by the way, if depending on how many I have to ship out of the country, is going to be a big issue as well. So there's a lot of. By the way, do you guys like that? I think I'm happy with that idea.
I like that shadow on his face. It's
Maybe what I'll do is I'll also add another shadow here. That's a cool. This will all be black in here. All this. So yeah, those are just all the various things. Not to mention, if you're the writer and not the artist, then you have to pay an artist.
Mm-hmm. And then
that's where I'm thinking, because I'm sitting there going, I'm not as good as my book needs. So and Critias, look, Critias bought everyone. It's like everyone from he wrote it, everyone has drawn it.
Yeah, I got the artist, the inker, the colorist, the letterer.
I was really I was like, I lost my words. Thank you for that.
No, yeah, it's called that we call that the production of the book. That's the production costs.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I'm done, I don't get all that money. I get a way significantly smaller portion of that. Perth Comics says, I really like that panel, Elliot. Right on. Thank you.
It's very hard. I'm not going to even try to go too in detail. My wife just changed. She was the general manager of a place, and she sensed a change in the corporation, which was correct, and she exited out, stage left. She went into car sales, which she's a badass. And now she's in this car sales, and we're in this change in the household. That's why I'm not able to, back a lot of stuff I wanted back.
Sure.
But she's a badass and she's outselling other people, but it's this change in things. I kind of lost my thought for a second, but I'm in sales. She's in sales. She's having to sense this downtime. She's having to sense. She's teaching me things that, because I'm on. You see me on all the streams. I'm kind of paying attention. I
Yeah.
didn't even know that I wanted to do a. I knew I had a book. I've always known since 1999 I had a book, but I never knew I wanted to do it this way until literally you led me to you led me to this group of professionals that I've now come to know.
Sure.
And I'm learning from them now, and I all I want from them is how we keep a seed of the comics industry alive, right?
Mm.
So I kind of lost my thought on that because it was kind of good, because we're trying to just plant a seed and just keep a remnant of it, because I see you on other things, you're talking about the superhero thing, and I've been anxious about the superhero. Like, I have so many ideas and then I totally forgot it because there's
Well,
no.
let me tell you about the superhero thing. I've said this a couple of times recently, but the reason why I'm getting a little more excited about the superhero concept, I asked the question when I first got out of jail. It was me and Clint was on there, and we were all talking. And I had asked the question, and I thought to myself, I said, man, that was a very sobering answer that I got from a lot of people, which was, I don't know if it works. I said, that seems a little odd. Why wouldn't it work? So it just bugged me. It kept bugging me and bugging me. And like a lot of things, I just gave it a little more thought. And I said, you know what? It actually can work. It's just that we have to do it a little different. So before I get into that point, let me read more of the chat here. Let's see. Comics Legend says Critias will also be the artist on his next book. He is the mystery artist. Oh, yeah.
I have something to say to Critias if I can, before, not now, but later,
Sure.
before we leave. Let me say
Sure.
something to Critias. Okay.
John Tedesco says, you have had a book since before I was born, says John Tedesco. Slick Rick says, the pie cuts so many ways in some of these campaigns. I wonder if they're making any dough after the shipping costs. And the Deadbeats ones probably ended up owing money, LOL. Yeah, that happens. So let me just say that the idea of the reason why I think that the superhero can work now is because we're all thinking about it in old school terms. Like, how will it work if, normally, historically, you try to introduce a new character for the shelves at a comic shop, it probably won't work, because now you're fighting against the real estate that these other companies own. I mean, literally in the comic shop. The shelves that get dedicated to all the shelf space dedicated to Marvel, DC, because they know they can sell it for now. That's problematic for us when we're creating new things. But what's great now, which I hadn't really thought about it this way, and it's right under our nose, is the crowdfunding. Now we really can create something different. And even though, yeah, it might be a little derivative, but I still think it'll be received differently by our crowd, because they're willing to look. If you're willing to support a book about a fat guy in the middle of West Virginia in a small town to fight bad guys, monsters or whatever, then you might consider backing a superhero book. You follow what I mean?
Yeah, like you said, yeah.
So it's the perfect time now. Actually, I'm more encouraged than I've ever been to do it, because I'm like, oh, actually, we probably can pull it off.
Because I've been thinking about it a lot. I'm like, we can't do the old Green Lantern. We can't. But at the same time, you did with Atomo. You came up with a name. It's like, I see that this is exactly what we need, but I'm sitting there thinking, what do we come with that punchy name? How do we punchy name? And I'm like, do we just ignore the name and go with the title? Do we Astro City it, which I'm trying to download because I want to read it, because I know that was a thing in the 90s that highlighted the ancient era of golden age superheroes.
Right.
So what do you do? Do you ignore the superhero name and maybe go with the title?
Well, no, that's my point though. I think again, I think you're kind of overthinking it. And I did the same thing. I was concerned that who will support it? What if I make a character? Oh, they're gonna say, oh, he's just Batman. Well,
Yeah.
not really. Not if I think we should put more effort into these things, by the way. They don't have to be that derivative. But I'm just saying though that can capes and spandex work today? You know what? Maybe about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if I was trying to produce something and put it on a comic book shelf, no, it would totally flop. But today, I mean, people are literally making money off of Sasquatches. And like, when was the last time you saw a Sasquatch produced in normal comic shops? You see what I'm saying? You got dead detectives.
You're saying people are looking for they're looking for escapism so badly.
Yeah, I'm saying that our audience is already supporting us on all these weird offbeat ideas anyway.
Right.
They probably, I'm assuming, I think, and I do hear, because I see it in my chats, I see it in all the other chats too. Sometimes I see people say, we need superheroes. I miss superheroes, because they're tired. Everyone's mad about what they've done to all their favorite characters. Now is the time.
Yeah. One of the things the fans are saying, and I'm as a fan, I get to say this, and you get to take this to like Doug TenNapel. I know Doug TenNapel has almost crossed 1 million with Earthworm Jim. I know that blah blah blah, and controversy. But the thing is, I almost lost my. I'm losing my thought. Give me a second. I am. It was on your thought that you just said.
All right, I can keep going if you want, if it helps jog your memory.
Yes, please.
But I just let me see. I mean, I'll tell you what. Let me read the chat. It might help answer some of our questions here. John Chidester says, "Wait. Deadbeats had like 30 some creators. Even if they didn't go into the debt, they didn't make any money. That's probably true. I don't know who Deadbeats is, but I'm assuming that sounds like something.
The mainstream
okay,
comic.
Comic says we need more superheroes in Comicsgate. There is a high proportion of horror and soldier comics at the moment. That's very true. That's what I'm trying to say. Slick Rick says responding was a complete waste.
All two fans of mine know that I came to Comicsgate because I was introduced to it by Elliot Fernandez, by the way.
Right on.
But at the same time, I realize why you're like, look, we can expand. We're Comicsgate, but we're also not. We're Comicsgate because you tell us we are. That's it.
Right.
We just want to make good comics. That's it.
That's fantastic to hear, because I think that's really the bottom line. I think that's what we're really trying to do. One of the things I'm excited about is how well people are doing. And it's not, that's what I said over on Eric Weather's channel. It's less about, oh, we're part of this community. It's more about, I've seen it. I'm seeing people say, I just really love your work. That's what we need. Because communities come and go, but fans will be fans as long as the product exists and it's still good quality. Like, I used to buy comics that were, on the shelf, and I don't anymore because I don't like what they're producing. It's not necessarily because of the politics. It's because, I mean, a lot of these guys have had these politics obviously for a long time, and I still bought their stuff.
Like, I still have a X-Men story in my mind that is full with politics. Screw the idea that it's politics. It's the fact that you're not writing good stories.
Well, that's true. So what if I could just get a good story? I would be happy with it. Let me keep reading here. So let me see here, because I know I'm over my time. Elliot, we could also get into comic shops now, as a lot of the shelves are empty, but you have to convince shop owners that your book is going to sell. I'll be honest with you, John, I don't know that they will. I mean, we're producing stuff that this smaller group of people who are definitely interested in supporting smaller projects are, that I don't have the numbers. I mean, some of these guys do, I don't. And I don't know that we have enough to replace. Think about how many books Marvel's publishing. A lot of them is not making money, but someone's buying them. They keep getting them. I'd have to replace we would have to replace a bulk of that. I don't know that we're there yet. Perth Comics says, I'll support lion torso suit guy with beard. Yes, Perth Comics, I hear you. I hear you. That's part of my, I'm telling I got some things working. I got some things cooking, Arthur. I can't wait to tell you. Our Extraordinary Jackson says, Elliot, you should say Sasquatch at least once a stream. Really? Okay. John Tedesco, the issue with independent creators is they can't have or campaigns that would outreach the ones of DC or Marvel. But I think eventually, I mean, I don't want to be a doomsayer here, but I really do think we're kind of heading into a new era of comic books. I don't think it's going to look like what we have now. So prepare yourselves.
I think we're deep in the mist.
Comics Legend says everyone is doing monsters. John Tedester says all three fans.
That's true. That's true. Even my comic that started in '99 that I'm kind of thinking of one day maybe unveiling. It's monster. They got a point. There is no superheroes, and right now, okay, if you just want to like highlight the Comic Escape name, there's no superheroes in Comic Escape. We need that. There's no and all the people that surrounds Comic Gate. There's no we have no actual superheroes.
Well, again, that's what I'm saying. And I would take it further. I really think we need to start thinking beyond the Comics Gate idea alone. I think that's still a small segment of the population. There's a lot of people who back my book who aren't even involved in that.
Yes.
And so and they're not anti-comics. They just sympathize with us, but that's not what they're about. They just want a cool book.
I have a lot of friends, if you'll see in my Instagram, that don't even sympathize with us, but they're willing to ignore it just to get a good book.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that there's an opportunity, and I'm talking about us as business people. You know, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm very happy with where we are. I'm very happy with this movement, where it's what's provided. But at the same time, I think the future is, let's take this to a bigger stage, you know, and let's let these people. I've always wanted to be in competition with Marvel and DC, and I think that this will be that to a great degree. This whole crowdfunding concept, getting your audience on board with the good product. At the end, that's why everybody joined Comicsgate for in the first place. They want good things with respect from the creators. Mm-hmm. That's called good business.
That's why a good amount of people actually liked the Miles Morales movie, is because they respected Peter Parker. They respected what came before. So if you got a good superhero story that respects what came before, that's all you need.
Yeah. You almost said it a second ago. I almost expected something else, and I was so happy they went the way they did. Perfect. That's all I've ever asked for. I know we won't always all agree on anything, but I'm happy when things are just done because of beauty and because of goodness and because it's cool, because he's a hero. That's good. I'll take that. But anyway, yeah, I think that this is I think when you're saying about producing superheroes or not, I think what it really is just produce a good character, produce something good. This audience is willing to experiment on what we're trying to produce. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think I think there's some real positive stuff there. I think we can be, we're going to be in good shape.
Speaking of which, I think this is a good segue. I'll just take it if you don't mind. I think you appreciate it, because Prius and his character, Detective Dead. You know, it's one of the first characters that I backed, and it's one of the first characters that actually made me stop. I wanted to do a detective character after that, and I looked at Detective Dead. I'm like, it's it's already done. It's already done right, and it's coming, right? And I'm
Right.
really inspired by that character. Like, we have our shadow, Detective Dead. We have our shadow. That's Detective Dead. But guess what it did? It made me go back to the drawing board and go, okay, I have a character, and I have to say this. I have a character that I used to want to be my shadow, and it was called the Solo Man, which was what we called my kid, who we named Solomon when nobody was naming kids Solomon. So we would call him Solo Man, Solo Man, Solo Man. So my character was the Solo Man, and I started thinking, hey, what if, there was a detective character called the Solo Man? And about that time, I became a fan of Detective Dead.
Hmm.
And I'm like, that's my guy. We don't need no more. We need to focus on that. We need to get that's coming out. I've seen the artwork every time it's just like it's coming, right?
You see what you did, Crit? You crushed his dreams.
No.
Gee, thanks.
He inspired me to go, I don't need to go there. I need to go somewhere else.
Right.
So I'm working. I'm not there yet. I'm telling you, I'm not there yet. I'm working on something in my mind that's more of I even went a different direction. I went cyberpunk. I'm like, cyberpunk something blah 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 blah. So it's still in the work. It inspired me. So I can't wait. I cannot wait to get my issue.
Hmm.
I cannot wait to get my issue of Detective Dead. It is one thing that I'm like, that's our thing. It's beyond it's our detective thing, it's our noir thing.
Right.
And I'm like, and then I seen your art and I seen how hard you're working, and I know that you, like Jerkmonger and like myself, and probably more so, you're you're paycheck to paycheck. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, I have to pay the artist, every time he turns in the page. So
That's what's so beautiful, is you're being considered among the pros, but you're working hard hat. You're working hard hat. No, Jerkmonger is working hard hat, and we know that. That's lucky enough he's got a voice to speak. Like, look, guys, he can sit there and face off with Doug TenNapel, and like, guy, you may be getting all that backlash on the beautiful, but the Earthworm Jim money, Earthworm Jim fan base, the beautiful Earthworm Jim, but you're getting that. We are on the level of the hardworking blue collar. We're still working at it. Jerkmonger's still working at it. Critius is still working at it. That's the beauty of this. What's going on right now? Does
right.
that make sense? I get one voice, and I could be silenced after this day, but my voice right now is to say that these people that have been, I have a friend, I have two friends, Andrew and Avery, the miss over there at Misfit Corner. Oh wow, Misfit Corner. They have, one has been published at Heavy Metal Magazine. That's hard. And it's like they've been published. They've struggled their own self, but they're still considered fans, but they've struggled themselves. It's
Yeah.
Jerkmonger has struggled to get where he was. Doomkicker is not. Doomkicker is getting kicked by Jerkmonger's artwork. Detective Death is getting kicked by what Critius has gone, the character of Critius.
Right.
It's I know, dude, guys, I know I sound a little boisterous right now, but I have a whole bunch of fans. I have fans out there, my many guys that they allowed me on their sites, and if I would be amiss to not mention these guys, because over here saying these people are working just as hard. I mean, that's why every day, if anybody has ever noticed, if I get across my radar a jerk monger, if I get across my radar Eric and what he's working, or Doug and what he's working, I post on my little 3 or 4 people that will notice it. Why? Because these guys are still they're still working it. Even Doug, what is he at? I don't want to know. I don't know. That's not. That doesn't matter. It doesn't.
It's depressing.
It is depressing.
Just kidding.
You guys got a fan in here with a bunch of fan that have helped me get to this point. And even though I found this place because of Jerkmonger, I still find so many people that are struggling to pay for the toilet paper. And I like that term. As gross and as weird as my kids call it, we're struggling to buy toilet paper, y'all. I know Jerkmonger is struggling to buy toilet paper. I know Critius is struggling to buy his kids toilet paper.
Right.
Help me out, guys, because I got myself into a hole, and I'm like,
oh man, I appreciate it. Go ahead, Craig. You say something if you want.
No, I agree with him. It's about the struggles. It's about being hungry and trying to get it done.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your passion, man. I do know that you are a fan, and we've been buddies for a while. And I'm looking at some great shouting page here. I come tomorrow today after sleep, but I'm just trying to catch up on the chat. There's a lot of people talking, but listen, man, seriously. I think you're right. There is something to be said about the struggle and us putting our forth effort, and it is an effort. Anything that's worth having is worth fighting for and fighting hard. But with that said, I'm a very blessed man. I'm looking at, even though we struggle for toilet paper, we still, there's people who have it worse than us. Mm-hmm. That's something I got to remember all the time. Yes, and
that's the thing.
Yeah, we certainly have goals and dreams, and we want to try to produce something, but I and sometimes it's hard because you're like, man, why is my campaign here not there? Why can't I make this much and not that much? But you know what, at the end of the day, I'll get what I need from whatever God wants me to have. I'll have what I need, and I'll move on from there. In the meantime, what I want to do is help build out things. So I'm not going to keep talking about my other projects for a little while, because I need to start working on them as well, like just producing artwork or some sort of advertisement for those things. But
Elliot, before you finish, because what you just said really struck something with what Manny Correa said. Manny said that when he first got Skunk Girl out there, he was ready to go with it, and that he had a friend out there that was like, yeah, good luck with that. That the friend was literally like, good luck with that. And God puts those friends in front of us. He puts those. We don't want to. God, how many times have I had somebody, Avery has sat there and said, look, what you just drew was trash. Avery has sat there and sat there too. That said that he's blunt. He's my, he will not. He will look at me and say, that's trash. Oh, well, he will tell me online, but you know what I mean? Yeah. He's my friend online. He will tell me that's trash. And after I get mad at him, after I take my moment to pout, I will go and I will fix on that. And what we're doing is a community of that. Like, you and John Malin have this headbutt. And like, I'm a Jerkmonger fan, so I'm always like, Malin, why are you doing this? But I notice that at the end of the day, Malin makes you better. Even you.
Yeah.
The monger. And I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. And Avery is definitely, we've told him this. Me and Andrew over there at Misfit Corner have told him that he's the Malin of the group. He will like look, this and that. So I believe in God because of what, and literally, dude, this is getting so deep, but I have one opportunity to tell you. Like, I've started looking at Mike's, only because of you have I started looking at Mike's, channel and his view in on God or what have you. And wow, speaking of Michael, here he is. This is the first time I have gotten to speak to you.
Oh man, Mike is I'm out of here.
Oreo cookie.
Wow.
They forever go together.
This is not cool because I'm now having a fan moment, and I was trying to have a moment, Michael.
You may not have a moment. Sorry.
He was just saying how you've influenced his thinking on the
God.
things of God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, he also said that your influence is thought about the Earth being flat, so that's another.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
what?
a donut. It's a donut.
The heck are you talking about? What's wrong with this thing?
He's still checking his microphone.
Oh.
No, it's not the mic. My computer keeps sliding down because something. I don't know.
I'm
trying to actually get a little bit of work done
I'm
here.
like Christian Slater right now.
But
yeah.
Thank you very much.
This is, Mike's a good person to show up on if ever.
Well, here I am.
There's you sound like Christian Slater right now, and this is not helping my. But no, seriously, if there's ever a person that
Now you've got something against Christian Slater. Is that the
there's
problem?
he's going to help you get to the next level. Maybe not to the Mike level.
All right,
but he's always
got problems here. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm looking at this person because he's working on this. He's using my distraction to really carve this out. I'm gonna call Jerkmonger out as well.
Uh-oh.
The guy that brought me here, my guy. If they put pressure on you, you squeeze, and they all know that you have everything they have and more. And I know you notice that Mike. This is the first time I got to talk with Mike on a stream, by the way. But you notice Mike is on the stream, and I'm saying this. It's like they squeeze you, and they can actually get you to. They can. I've seen them. I've seen them make you. It's like, guys, just shut up, and you just want to. I can tell Jerkmonger just wants to quit stream. I can tell. But the thing is when that pressure's on, focus on it. Take a moment, maybe, to take a deep breath, because these guys, they Malin, John, Mike, I've seen them make you better, and I'm already a fan of you. I'm already a fan. I'm a fanboy. Here's the guy, the fanboy. I'm already a fanboy. You invited me on. I'm gonna say it. And all of a sudden, I see these guys pressuring you, and you're like getting aggravated at them, saying, "Hey, don't do that tangent there. Don't blah blah blah."
See that, Mike?
Mm-hmm. But sometimes they're just fucking trolling you. Sometimes they're just trolling you. But sometimes I've seen you go beyond the Elliot Fernandez that I've come to love and known, that I thought was perfect. And then they show that you can go above and beyond. And I don't want you to ever forget you can go above and beyond wherever you're at.
Right on. That's very true. I
What's
totally agree.
happening here?
It's a love fest. You missed it.
Oh,
How
alrighty then.
Hey, Mike, how was SDCC before Elliot
I
asks?
was only there for an hour.
you sound hoarse, like you've been there all night.
No, I'm all right. It was just it was dry. We were walking, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm all right.
Right on, right on, right on, right on.
See
But yeah, I was only there for an hour, and yeah, that's enough.
Oh man, I'm still a little bit like, oh man, that's like a pilgrimage thing, right?
Elliot is left out.
Well, the fun,
not-
yeah, it's Mecca for it is Mecca for comics in America, anyways.
Yeah,
God, I hate to use that reference, but you know.
I know.
It is what it is. The best part was dinner at Hodad's with everybody. That was rad. Freaking Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers stopped in.
Oh,
Freaking
cool.
hung out for a minute. Rob Liefeld came by my table, said hi to me.
Nice.
Hey man, I told you
Randy
guys.
Green-
I told
Randy
you guys.
Green, Kelly Yates
I told you
came
he's
in
been.
for a bit.
I've been telling you guys he's been posting things that has told me he's been paying attention.
Well, I
Right.
mean, Rob's a friend, so he probably would have come by anyways.
Yeah.
Well, Rob likes comic books, and right now the only comic books that are happening are direction.
Hey, Mike, you
Yeah.
could have just said pilgrimage,
Pilgrimage.
That's
Yes.
what I said.
He
All right.
sounds tired though. He sounds like I did it. I got through it, and here I am. I swear.
No,
did
interesting thing. It's
We
interesting
still got
little anecdote about Rob.
Hmm.
When Deadpool 2 came out, he kind of pulled me to the side, and he was like, "Mike, I don't know, maybe it was kind of a private conversation, but he was just saying that he knew who had his back, like when he was down, and he knew who the fake people were who was coming to him now that his ship had come in. You know what I'm saying?
It sucks.
And he's like, I'll always remember that.
It does.
So,
It does. But
yeah,
yeah.
dude, your ship comes in, people
So,
freaking
Mike,
treat you
let me
different.
ask you a question though. When he's coming to join recorded,
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna bug him about that at
That
some
would
point.
be cool. That would.
Yeah, it would be. It would be fun.
We had a good night tonight, man. We hung out with Malin and Anna.
Yeah.
And then I got the chance to spend the last few minutes with Eric Weathers. He wrapped up his campaign today.
Oh, good.
And he answered a question we were asking earlier about what we were wondering about would you get the extra push? And he said he didn't recognize a bigger push after 12 days of extension.
Oh, really?
So that might answer that question right there. Yeah.
Maybe he needed 15 days of extension.
That was a brief thought there. Well, we don't know.
As the self-proclaimed fanboy, I'll still push his stuff. As a matter of fact, I felt bad that he was going out for 2 weeks. I'm like, you're going on fam vacation? I know what that's like. I'm gonna do my best. All 2 of my subscribers.
Well, Arthur, you're killing it here tonight. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Had a good time.
It's good.
Yeah, let me.
What brush are you using right now? Like,
this is called Belgian 40 Smoother.
Wow.
Belgian Comics.
Does
Belgian?
anybody
Wow.
else have the same problem I do with digital? It just doesn't. I get so bored that I don't finish projects once I put it in digital.
I do.
I don't know what to say. I don't know how to ask for help for that because I'm just like, it just doesn't feel right. But yet I can't do that. That goes to say that I can't do what you guys are doing artistically. So I'm still enamored by what you guys are doing artistically.
I think I only see this as a tool. I don't differentiate this from pencil other than some of the feel of the tool, like the physical feeling of using the tool. So I'm not necessarily been out of shape that way over it. I can be. I think, and I've seen people do it, but I think when all is said and done, what we're doing here is we're just simulating some other look that we like. So as long as I'm getting the look that I want, that's what I indulge in. I'm satisfied with that.
I've been monitoring Malin's saying of I don't care how you get there, just as long as it looks cool in the end.
Yeah. I think that's an important thing. Although Mike would add, as long as the
Hey, I was about to say,
anatomy's right.
I was about to say. Then you look at Mike's stuff, and you're like, God damn.
Hey, Mike, did you ask Liefeld why he got Malin blocked?
I did not bring it up. I thought about asking it, but
Oh,
he was, when I remembered, he was already heading out of the restaurant with his wife. So like, I'm not gonna bug him about that. Stupid. I can
Right.
just message him on Facebook.
I think Malin would find that to be stupid, Mike. You're about to hurt Malin's feelings.
Malin would have
Well,
probably.
hey, you know what? Whatever Malin did to upset Rob, obviously he doesn't think of him as one of those guys who had his back.
Oh,
I guarantee you, Rob does
serious
not know
shade.
that the block bot blocked Malin. It's
Oh, you
Twitter.
guarantee, do you?
It's Twitter. Well,
You guarantee.
I've been watching.
What is the dollar amount on this guarantee?
Bitcoin.
I mean,
Because I can find out.
Go ahead. Let's look.
I want to know what the guarantee is first before I bother.
What does Rob have to gain from it? Nothing, because
I don't know.
because that site has nothing to offer. There is nothing to offer. So yeah, there's nothing. So yeah, go ahead.
I just want to know what the guarantee is.
The guarantee is there's nothing to offer. It's a blog bot.
So there's no actual guarantee here.
There is no actually guarantee, but there's a no guarantee. No, I'm saying I don't know how these things work. I'm new to Twitter. I try to stay,
stay away from Twitter.
My buddy Avery, he said you got to go in and you got to come out. It's like he said you got to be careful because it's important to it's important to get yourself out there, but it's also look, I did not vote for Trump last time. I did not vote for anybody last time. That's the first time I've never voted for a president. But
you don't sound like you're old enough to vote for president.
That's the guy I am. I voted unfortunately, coming out of the Jehovah's Witnesses like I did, I voted for Barack Obama twice because I thought.
Wait, why would Jehovah's Witness want to vote
they wouldn't. But I left the Jehovah's Witnesses and I thought that's where I was. That's what I'm saying. And then I didn't vote for no one. And now in 2020, me and my wife are talking about like we really need to vote for Trump because he has shown us that and this is Jerkmonger's. I don't know if he appreciates politics. So I don't want to get there. But it's been this place where and this, if you've read Michael, if you've read my chats, no, I'm fair enough. There's tons of chats, but I'm an ex-Democrat who left the Democrats because I went, whoa, you guys are getting weird, and now I want to vote for our.
That's like word for word what Reagan said.
I feel bad for Elliot because Elliot's trying to promote Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. What? Explain that. Explain that, Elliot. Get it off.
I have no idea. Listen, the critics has been getting me in trouble lately. Dude, I hate Bernie Wrightson.
Anybody. Like I met somebody random at a spring yesterday, at a Florida spring. We went, and he had a GoPro, one of those gears that goes over your chest. He was just as fat as I am, but he was proud of it, unlike me. So he had a GoPro, stapled to his chest and a GoPro on his head, and him and I got into an hour-long conversation, and it was legitimate. I mean. This is not a good time to, get into.
It's true, Arthur. I'm about to call you my Cecil.
Yeah.
I'd rather you have a.
No. I will not go off on somebody without.
I just saying, I would rather you have a sober commentary on politics than one that you might regret.
Thank you.
So.
No, I wouldn't regret it. It was very intuitive. It was very. I was impressed. As a matter of fact, I didn't get to dive into the spring because there was a thunderstorm coming. So him and I had this conversation. I'm sitting here afraid. He's a black man. I'm a white man. There you go. Right? And I'm like asking him how his appearance, because what the.
Got my finger on the kill switch.
I know. But what
I still have no idea what's happening.
But he's actually got a YouTube. I don't know it, but my question with him was, I started questioning him. I'm like, look, he's like, what's your YouTube? And I'm like, Uncanny Kodiak. You got to realize that I've found myself on a more conservative side of things lately. I'm like, things are getting weird. Things are getting strange. And he's just nodding me in an acknowledging way. And I'm like, ooh, this is my moment. I'm like, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. He's like, oh, 904. I'm like, oh, you're from. He's like, yeah, I just got thrown. He's like, I just got out of my situation. I'm trying to do a YouTube thing. I know Jacksonville, Florida. And keep telling me about this thing. I'm like, you know what? I didn't vote, for Trump, and I just brung up Trump to see how he felt about it, because last section I didn't want to vote. Because I thought, I'm scared. I'm like, I know better to vote for Hillary Clinton, but Donald Trump is a really reality star. What the hell am I supposed to do? So I didn't vote. And he's like, dude, I was the same place. And I'm like, oh, really? Where are you from? And he was from Florida, but not Jacksonville. So we started talking, and I could tell that he had turned off his iPhone, but his GoPros were still going. So I'm like, okay, I'm still being recorded. I'm still going to be somewhere. This whole interview is on YouTube. But it was interesting that he, as a black man, was saying the same things that I was saying, is that it was getting weird. Our freedom of speech was being taken. He's like, my freedom of speech, he said, my freedom of speech is being taken. And that's where I'm going to stop it, because I'm getting, yeah.
Right on, man. Right on. I appreciate it. Right. Brother.
He might be a Democrat. He might stay Democrat. I was an ex-Democrat. I understand that. But our point was, things were getting weird, and our freedom of expression was getting taken. So he might be listening to this right now. He might be a newbie to us.
Okay. Well,
Eric, can I answer a question?
What's up?
Why you leave the other eye for last?
Because I'm not sure. I wasn't sure how I was going to approach it, but I think I'm going to ink it the way I have it laid out. Let's see. Is that a shadow under her chin, or a necklace, or a rope? It's just it's supposed to be a shadow.
Billy the Wombat says, "What?"
It says what? What?
Yeah. He says,
all right.
If Maiden was here, he wouldn't be happy with that shadow, Elliot.
I know, it's a tangent. It's a tangent. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta fix that. All right, all right. Well, it looks like it's late 30 for everybody else on the East Coast. We're gonna wrap this one up.
Oh, sure. I get here and everybody
I
wants
know.
to go.
He doesn't like you, Mike.
well, I'm just a
Whatever, man. That's fine.
stop it. Or go get some sleep, or hold on a second here. I like her though. I think she's coming out pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Let me zoom out. Let me see. Oh, you already did.
Well, you haven't seen it.
I'm watching on.
Wow,
On YouTube.
I never hear you yawning.
Mm-hmm.
You should check out my morning show.
It won't be
All
one.
your shows. I would like to apologize to Jerkmonger's audience. All my opinions, and may change in the morning. That's it. I'm done.
I love
I
you.
apologize.
I love you, Kodiak. You're a beast. I appreciate you, man.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to. It's been an interesting weekend. So, well, for me, weekend, because our weekend happens in the middle of the week.
Mike,
That doesn't make
Slick
any
Rick says,
sense.
start a stream, Mike. Not one of your got ones though.
Not one of my God ones. They're all God ones, Slick Rick. God is everywhere. Always.
Oh my gosh.
Brunch with Mike.
Always and forever. And I'm not going to start a stream. I'm
That right
tired.
there, Michael.
I gotta save up my notifications because I got cross examinations, and then tomorrow night we gotta sell some artwork.
Word.
Friday already.
Auctions.
Man, I can't believe it's already Friday. Yeesh.
I know. I am so not going to the con tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about? Are you gonna go Saturday?
Yeah, I want to go to the crowdfunding comics panel. That's pretty much all I want to do.
Oh man, that's I hope someone records that.
Did you see the
That's
Top
what
Gun
I
trailer
wanna
over there,
do.
Mike?
That's what I want to do. What?
Did you see the Top Gun trailer over there?
The what?
Top Gun.
No, I didn't. And
That's what they released it at over there.
yeah. Well,
Why are they releasing Top Gun at Comic-Con?
Because
that's what they do. It's a pop culture con now. It ain't Comic Con. Comic Con is a lie. A lie.
I was just telling my kids that.
I remember when it was Comic Con though, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. But now it's a lie.
Comic Con is fake news.
Comic Con is fake news.
I feel really bad for Mike.
The artist alley is like this teeny little area. We're on the side. Terrible. I am working diligently.
What are you working on right now?
Page 8 of Monster Hunt.
Are you trying to get some? How far are you trying to get this weekend?
Well, you know what? I just got a note. Actually, I'll tell you about it off air, Elliot.
Okay. Okay. Well,
but I'm gonna be trying to make sure I get these books done as rapidly as possible, but still want to maintain my highest level of quality and service. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm
no more dicking around, man.
Word
up. Although my wife wants to go on vacation.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out of town next week for a couple of days.
For what?
Family. I've been criticized for not making enough time for that. I got to do that. But I will be still in touch.
Why don't you just tell your family to watch you on YouTube like everyone else?
Oh my!
Then he'll have a sucky as a relationship with his wife.
Yeah. It's not so.
No.
Honey, you want to spend time with me? Come watch me on YouTube.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, kids, let YouTube raise you. And here's even
because
better.
they're not searching Jerkmonger, they're searching others.
And when you find out that I'm not that interesting, go find someone else to watch. No.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, all right, cool. Well, I'll tell you what. Now is a good time to wrap this up because it is 5:30 over here on the east coast of well, just not of Florida, but on the country, west coast of Florida. And I've been up all night, Mike.
Dang.
I had a bunch of coffee, and then
that'll do it.
But you know, I'm moving on. Did you see? Yo, I didn't show it to you. You should see what I did for. Where is that? Look at this. I did that for Aaron. Remember him?
Yeah.
General Chang, whatever. I was using it to practice
from Undiscovered Country, right?
Yeah, look at that, dog. What's up, man? That's
Dude,
dope.
I have a story about that one. I was working in a movie theater when that came out, and our manager, we always called him a geek because he was like this total geek. He wanted to work in movies, and that's why he was a manager at a movie theater. It's like, this is what I aspire to be. And so we were always calling him a geek, right? And one of the things he loved was Star Trek. So when Undiscovered Country came out, remember that scene where they're at the campfire?
Yeah.
On the planet?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in one of the darker scenes, I stopped the movie and I got one of the darker cells, and I just took a little X-Acto blade and I scratched geek into the cells so it would just flash for 1/24 of a second on the screen because I knew he'd watch it. He got so messed up. We saw him we're like watching him because we saw him go in there, and then we're like just kind of watching the door. And he like bursts through the door and runs up to the to the projection room. And he's like he was gonna stop the film while people were watching it to find that.
So did he actually do that?
I don't remember. I was too busy laughing. It was just. Oh man, we terrorized that guy.
That year because I thought Hook was going to be amazing and it wasn't, and then that movie was.
Oh, I liked Hook.
I like Hook too.
No. I like Hook. I like Hook. It just wasn't what I thought it would be.
That's all right, man. Just my opinion. You can have your opinion.
Stick to your guns, man. Stick to your guns. If you hated Hook, say you hated Hook.
Yeah,
no, I didn't hate Hook.
I can't believe you hated Hook.
Oh,
but by all means, say you hate Hook.
So disappointed.
Undiscovered Country, rock.
Mark Trafford says Mike has always been a troll. I was 17 at the time, so.
Oh my gosh,
that was some pretty good trolling, though. I do admit.
What did you call that before it was called a troll? Prank? Practical joke.
Pretty sure it was a troll back then too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Troll word is a modern term, I thought.
No, I think that's term's been around since like the 80s, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Troll?
Well, this was 1989, so.
Critius. Why do you say that, Critius?
I'm pretty sure I've seen plenty of movies lately. I've been watching a lot of 80s and 90s movies, and I'm pretty sure in the movie I saw recently had that a teenager fighting with her brother saying troll. You troll.
Or there was just a comment on the person. You're a troll. Jerk. You
No.
All right. Well, I've promised this a few times, Mike, but I don't want you to. If this is fueling your work time, I'll stay on with you.
The only time it triggers Mike is when you out him, which is
Mike and Jordan have to sleep.
It's late. It's 3 o'clock here too.
You guys always talk about not liking your heroes going against each other. You guys are all my heroes, and I'm sitting there going, like, when y'all go against each other, it doesn't work.
We don't need another hero.
But no, it doesn't. It doesn't work. It's like when Mike tries to push his style on Elliot, it doesn't work. When Elliot,
I'm trying to push my style on Elliot.
well, Elliot doesn't try to push his style on anyone. I'm just saying. But
It's not style.
I think he thinks you're mailing, Mike.
Sound structure.
But we all know, because we have a Mike fan base, including myself. But we know that you have a strong style, which is really sharp, which was really based in like I don't even know.
Wait a minute. I thought you said you was Elliot's fan base. Wait.
I am.
Are you two-timing them?
Oh man.
Yeah. No, I'm not. You see, Elliot already knows. I've already sent him many messages like, look, today you sucked. Today no, I'm serious. Ask Elliot. I've sent him messages like, today you did not win Pro Edition. You did not win. I'm sorry. I voted for somebody else. And then there's days like I so voted for you. God, why didn't you win? Like I'm the guy that will be the first one to like vote for the artwork. And Mike is detailed in perfection, and he has this thing. That's why I like that he started doing these tutorials.
So what I'm getting from you is that
we need that. We need a Mike tutorial because he knows his stuff. That's where I'm done.
What I'm getting from him is that he voted you to last place, Elliot.
Wow.
Once or twice. I'm not gonna lie. Once or twice, I've voted Jerkmonger to last.
Look at Malin. Malin comes in, sometimes last place, but all his voters are loyal.
But guess what? More times than not, I have voted Jerkmonger into first. Every time, you know what? Actually, I do believe that every time I have voted Jerkmonger, he's won. So there.
Okay. Elliot, if you ain't first, you're last.
If you ain't first, you are last. That's true.
What Elliot? I think what he just said was that he doesn't vote for you that often.
I was just gonna say. I've been on the show quite a bit, so yeah. Number one fan only when he's awesome.
I will never come online with bottles of wine again ever.
Oh yeah, lots of wine for sure. All right.
No, I don't tend to try to get people to not use whatever styles they want. I don't think style has anything to do with understanding structure and form and balance and all the things that make for good art. And so that's what I try to correct. I don't try to correct for style. When I make fun of Elliot or Malin for drawing microcephalic heads, that to me is structural. But I get it. You can still bend the rules for the sake of style and have some really cool stuff. I mean, Joe Mad's like a great example of someone who's constantly bending rules and still making things look really cool. So Humberto Ramos, man, I looked at Humberto's new sketchbook today. Man, he's really changed his style over the last 5 years.
Did you see that Marvel book they put out? The art
was that his sketchbook? Yeah,
I don't know if it's a sketchbook. It's Humberto Ramos, like a look at his work throughout the years on Spider-Man.
Oh, maybe that's not the same thing. RT Bear bought Humberto's book today, and I don't know. Humberto's been kind of snubbing me. It's kind of upsetting since I've known the guy since the beginning of our careers. But
legitimately,
he's a Trump hater, so whatever.
Everybody needs a rival, Mike. Everybody needs a rival.
legitimately, as a fan coming into Comicsgate, sometimes it's like somebody asking if Malmsteen is a better guitarist than like James Hetfield. It's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, they both know their structure. One person overdoes it, and one person artistically.
Wait, who are you talking to? Who are you talking about?
You and everyone. Like sometimes,
Well,
yeah,
I'm just going
sometimes
to say not everyone knows their structure equally.
no, but sometimes somebody can outdo you just by not knowing it. Sometimes somebody can spot their blacks and outdo you, Mike. And you know that because you've lost sometimes. And I'm saying this,
Oh,
Mike, as a
wow.
fan.
It's a lot of
Because
no, I
shit.
don't care. I honestly don't care if I lose.
No,
That's not.
no,
That doesn't
listen,
qualify.
legitimately, Mike, as a fan, I'm saying this.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's let's go back to the music thing because I don't want to go to the art thing because sometimes it's like
Arthur.
you drew the hand right. You drew the anatomically correct. Okay, so what? Well, then this person took it to the next level. He put the shadows in, he put the artistic in it. Malmsteen, a guitar player, can play any guitar perfectly, but some people don't like him. Why? Because he's too technical. Some people like to fill in the blanks themselves.
Mike, I don't like you, man. You're too technical for me.
Man, Mike's one of my favorite people, so it's just you know,
Mike, I don't like you, Mike. You're too technical.
it's not.
I cannot wait, Arthur, to wake up in the morning.
Not what I said.
I can't wait to wake up in the morning and you listen to this. It's going to be awesome. The waterfall of regret is going to be epic. Because you are such a fan, by the way. Because you are.
I am.
I know.
Guys, you guys.
All right.
Like
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna have to kill this one tonight because we need Arthur to sleep it off, and I know Critias is ready to try to say goodbye several times.
Yeah.
Oh, John Malin quoted. He's in our chat. Malin is superior. Mike, inferior.
Oh.
You guys have never you've never drawn shots at each other and not got better at each other. I'm so if I'm drawing shots and I'm getting shot at, whatever, because you guys have always y'all have always performed for us and you've always made us happy. So thank you. If that's the last thing I get to say here in Comicsgate, then thank you.
I guarantee.
Where you going?
Your proper usage of that word. I guarantee that's not the last thing you say.
It's all right. All right, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. But we do need to wrap it up. So I hope everybody has a great night. I hope everybody. Oh wait, John says I'm John. Mike is Paul.
What? No. No. No.
Also, that's epic right there. And with that, with Mike's no, we'll end here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Really appreciate all of you guys for chilling. I want to thank my special guests here tonight, Mr. Critias. Brother, I appreciate you. I love you.
Love you too.
Arthur, always love you, brother. He fell asleep.
No, I'm here. Love, always.
Try not to say anything else.
Yeah.
I am definitely trying not to get myself in more jail.
Mike, thanks for coming in for wrapping it up for us. I am definitely my time. Guys, I love all you guys. I thank you all for joining us and chilling with us tonight. Sorry it was such a late stream, but I felt like I needed to get some work done and you guys helped me get it complete. So I will see you all tomorrow and probably on Mike's channel soon. Laters, everybody. Peace.
Adios.
Good night.